colder weather months. This virus is spreading rapidly and could put a strain on our hospitals and emergency services. I am asking everyone to please wear a mask. It's important to make sure your mask covers your nose and your mouth at all times. Wearing a mask is one of the only defensive tactics we have to slow this virus down. Remember, wear a mask, stay apart, and wash your hands.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mostly cloudy and cold right through the afternoon. A daytime high near 30 degrees. Overnight low of 23 degrees. Mostly cloudy. Stays mostly cloudy for your Wednesday. A few peaks of sunshine. Temperatures near the freezing mark through the day. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Chasing the clouds away. Something calls to me. The trees are drawing me near. I've got to find out why. Those gentle voices I hear.
And welcome to Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day over and over again. Great movie. I keep watching it over and over day like it's Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day for me seems like every time I'm driving on highway, whether it's 70 or 79, I get the phone call, guess who passed away? And I did it again today. Seems like I do it once a week. A pretty good Pittsburgh Pirate, a good lefty. He pitched for the Orioles in the 71 World Series against the Pirates. And with the Pirates, he pitched against Baltimore in 79. Grant Jackson passed away at the age of 78. He was with the Pirates from 77 to 1980. Born in the state of Ohio, Fostoria, wherever that is, but that's where he was born. His overall record in Major League Baseball, not bad, 86 wins and 75 losses. Pretty good left-handed pitcher. I'll talk more about Mr. Jackson later in the show. Right now, let's go to the hotline. You know, all this week we've been talking to Steelers who have Super Bowl experience. I had to get this guy on because the other day was the anniversary of that famous draft in '74 when the Steelers drafted not one, not two, but 4 future Hall of Famers. All right? Lambert, Webster, Swanee, and Stallworth. one of the guys that helped make that draft possible, Art Rooney Jr. Mr. Rooney, how are you?
Not bad at all. I'm a Groundhog Day fan, too, of that movie. That was funny as heck.
Yeah, I keep watching it over and over again. You know, I feel like I should have been part of the movie in Punxsutawney, whatever, you know. Take us back. I know you only have a few minutes, but take us back to when you were working with Bill Nunn and the scouting department and everything, and you were looking at players. It's not like today where you can go on the computer screen and see how fast these guys run or how slow they are. Are they quick off their feet? How did you get all of these guys all in one draft, and how much scouting was involved, and how many trips did you have to make to go check them out?
I was never home.
Okay.
In fact, my dad got me and gave me hell. He said, you have a beautiful, wonderful wife and family. You have to spend more time at home. And the other guy told me the same thing was Charles Henry Knoll. You know, and, you're not at home enough. And it really, it was a passion. Really, really was a passion. And but you know, I personally saw so many of these guys, but I got to the point, you know, I couldn't see them all. But we had some really top guy, and Dick Haley. I don't know if you remember Dick.
Yes.
He left us and went to the Jets, and I think he was the personnel director there for another 15 years or so.
And I remember seeing him. I remember seeing his son as a ball boy in Latrobe during training camp. So I'm familiar with both Haleys, and I've yet to see Haley's Comet, but that's next.
Yeah, but none was special. He you know, he had all these contacts. Like we scouted the primary black schools, but when Bill came with us, it was entirely different. He had so many contacts.
Yeah.
And he one time told me I was on one of my frequent diets, and I would take a piece of meat and chew it up and get all the juices and spit out the other part. We were up at camp, and Nunn said, "What in the world are you doing?" I said, "Well, Archie Moore, you know, the boxer, said that's how he diets." He said, "That's a bunch of bunk." He said, "I worked at camp." He said, "My job was to go out and get the pizzas after lights out." He says, and I'd get like 20 pizzas and bring them back, and he ate about half of them. You know, Nunn had all those stories like that. You know, tremendous stories.
Yeah.
You know.
Wasn't it Bill Nunn who found a lot of the players of color in places that nobody else really knew about? He was telling me about John Stallworth running, what, the 4.4 and 40 in mud. You know, today people would know about that.
But they better not, because he was our guy, not theirs.
Yeah.
But we had some information on, you know, that school where Stallworth was, and I called for a Blesto report, you know, the scouting service. And I called Bill, and I said, "Bill, we just had a real good report on, you know, that school down in Alabama." He said, "I'm on my way right now." And so he got down there, and there was some type of rainstorm when John Stallworth had to run, and he had a horrible time. And Bill took him. Bill told the other scouts, he said, "I'm not feeling well today."
Yeah.
And so he took Stallworth to a high school field that was dry. He got a phenomenal time, and then he brought a film back, and it was like a highlight film, but it wasn't. It was a game film, and he was phenomenal. And everybody in the Steeler organization watched that thing, including my dad, and not only the equipment men, but the janitors. Everybody watched it. And I told him, I said, "Bill, you have to get that film back to that school." He said, "We won't be invited again." He said, "I'm invited everywhere. Don't worry about it." That's when but yeah, we took Swan first.
Yeah.
And I remember I went out to SC, the Southern Cal, to scout Swan. Yeah, they had a lot of players there.
Yes.
And of course UCLA was right up the street. But anyways, John McKay, the coach there, he ended up in the pros. For some reason, he really liked me. I think maybe he's a Western Pennsylvania guy. And he got me, and he had a golf cart. We're going to go watch practice. And he got me in a golf cart and drove me around and stopped, and talk about the players. He came up to this guy, another big guy in Swan. And he said, "This is the best one." He said, "This is the best one, the best I ever coached." And he said, "This is a great guy." He said that he's an uncanny jumper. He's like a ballet dancer. Yep. He has the greatest concentration in hands. And so we got back, but Lynn did another guy that didn't have top speed. Mm-hmm. And then the day before the draft, or the morning before the draft, Jack had one of his scouts, his Busto scouts in California, go, and they managed to get another time on men. And he's one of the big guy, you remember that, but he was running like a 4.7. Yeah. And so Jack's Scott got him in a 4.6, which was not the greatest, but it was A-OK. And so when it came time to, in the draft, the 74 draft, we did take Swan, and then we got down to the and Noel, by the way, wanted to take Stallworth, and so we talked him into a lot of times those last minute things that kill you or help you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I was extremely aware of that. Go by your the information you have, your organization. And so then we came up to the second round, and there's a linebacker out there at UCLA, was a great athlete, and Woody Woodenhofer was our defensive backfield coach, and he said, "Look," he said, "that kid's a great athlete," he said, "but we have a very cerebral." That's a pretty big word for guys like me, and
it's a big word for me too.
for what he's cerebral. He said it's going to take him. Anybody we bring in here, it's going to take them time to learn our defense. He said the guy up there at Kent State. He said he's the guy I think we should take because he can help on special teams.
Jack Lambert.
But you had Jack Lambert. I had gone up there, especially to see him the day I got there. You talk about muddy fields. They didn't want to. This is like a day before the game workout. Well, the coach didn't want to use the field and get it all muddy, and their practice field was all muddy. So he took them out in this parking lot. It was all gravel, and Lambert was there in his shorts and that stuff. It was like I said, the day before the game workout, and Lambert. Was hitting guys. I mean, really a mean guy, and hitting guys, and pushing them, and then one guy, he missed and he fell, and he fell in all the cinders, and he was picking the cinders out of his skin and maintaining, working it. And he was the captain of the team, and I said, "Boy, I know this guy's tough," and so we took Lambert. That's two Hall of Famers, and. And then
Webby.
Well, Webby was he was a great player in the big leagues. He wasn't a real big guy, though. You have to remember that. No. And we had good information from the coaches and that stuff. And boy, I saw him in I went up and saw him practice, but then I saw him in an All-Star game, film study. And man, he was bad. The guys we had rated as top defensive pass rushers, and he was sort of a small guy, and he's putting these guys. He had a great strike rising blow, and balance, and he's putting all these guys on their bums, and so he came up. We drafted him, and they had a drill. It's called the Oklahoma drill. And then our guys call it the Nutcracker drill. I don't know why. But they had like a center and a back, and the defensive guy. Well, the defensive guy was Jack Lambert. The center was Webby, and the running back was a guy named Franco Harris. And so one of the newspaper guys Webby was turning, you hit and turn, turning Lambert all the time. And he says, "Where'd you dig that guy up?" And I thought of it, even like preparing to talk to you, I thought, how would you like that drill? You had 3 Hall of Famers, Webby, Lambert, and Franco Harris in the drill. Wow. But boy, they were some of the better days, I'll tell you that.
And Bill Nunn found, and he wasn't drafted, right? Donnie Shell that same year, right?
Yeah, that was like the cream of on the cake of my talk.
Yeah.
yeah. South Carolina State had a guy named Chavez. I don't know, Ernie Scherz. He was a great big. He ended up being a real top player. So I went down to see him, and the coaches there were real friendly with me because I had been there, but because of Bill Nunn. They thought this guy's a friend of Nunn and he could be trusted and all that stuff. Yeah. And so he told me, about Donnie Shell, and as a linebacker. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now the draft's over, and Bill would go out on the road, and he'd go back and all down through the South, and he would sign all these guys. He'd sign draft choices, and they'd come back with a handful of free agents, and he came back and he said, I signed this draft choice, signed that draft choice. He said, I got that little guy we like real well. I said, who's that? And he says, Donnie Shell. Now I'm thinking of him as a linebacker, and I said, man, alive, Bill, he's a midget. He said, no. Well, Bill was a lot more ahead of the game than I was there. He says he's a real good guy and smart. He says he can learn. He said, and he can be a top defensive back and a special teams guy while we're waiting for him. Yep. And so Bill really, was right about him, and boy, he became a Hall of Famer too, and so he was like the extra bonus on that whole draft, and that was really like catching lightning in the bottle, having your stars lined up. It was really just so special. And Bill was a special guy.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
was. I think he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. My dad told me that Bill Nunn's dad, he worked for the Courier, the Pittsburgh Courier. Mm-hmm. If he had come 20 years after his time, he said he would have been in like the Writers' Hall of Fame. Yep. He ran the whole paper, but he was on the black paper. Mm-hmm. No, I have another little story about Nunn. He told me, Aaron, wasn't that the guy that just died, the great baseball player?
Henry Aaron.
Yeah. So Bill was telling me, he said, Aaron played in the Negro League, and he was in Pittsburgh when Atlanta called him up. He says, I drove him to the airport. I said, yeah, that's really interesting.
Wow.
But then another time he said he was writing for the paper then, and he said, and Jackie Robinson came in, and they worked out a deal that Robinson would talk to the Courier, and Bill Nunn was the guy he would talk to. Oh, and go over, what the game was like and blah, 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 and all that stuff. He says, and after about a month, he says, Robinson got tired. He said, but Bill said, I didn't want to lose my thing. It was a nice little paycheck for me, and he said, so he never called again. He said, but I made up all the reports. He said, because that stuff was in the, in the papers, Times at Bat and all that stuff. Yep. Okay. But there were two guys right there, the great boxer, middleweight champ, I guess, and then Jackie Robinson. He really knew a lot of people.
Oh, man, you talk about knowledge and networking. Wasn't it Bill Nunn that found L.C. Greenwood a few years before the '94 draft?
Well, no, I have to make a confession on that one.
Okay.
They had Arkansas State or something like that. You had to drive out of Little Rock. And it was my last scouting trip, and I had a little bit of a sore throat. And the blessed people had a report on a running back there. I don't remember the guy's name. So I made my last trip out to see this running back. So I got there, and the coaches were real nice to me. And they said, well, the running back, yeah, he's a good kid. He's going to make it somewhere. He said, but the best player we have is this guy that's a good student, a smart kid. He says, and a guy named Greenwood. And so they showed me some film. They showed me some film on Greenwood. And he was really good. And they said, well, watch him in practice. I'm going to have a semi-scrimmage. So I went out, and boy, he was really, really just a top player. And so so we ended up drafting him. But the thing about it is that none signed him. And there's another guy named in that same team named Washington. And Bill signed both of them. You know what I mean? And, so he did a pretty big job there, signing our 2 draft choices. That's just, I'm not taking anything away from Bill, but we had a zillion stories. He was a great guy to be around.
Oh, he was. I remember sitting with him.
He'll make the Hall of Fame this year, as a contributor.
You think we have enough guys in the Hall of Fame? I think you ought to put a few more in, like L.C. Greenwood and Andy Russell. How about those 2?
Oh, especially those 2. Andy Russell, gee, man, he came in as out of Missouri, and I think Parker drafted, charged that draft. And I was just starting out, but I had seen him, but I don't think they paid attention to my scouting reports in those days. But tremendously great leader, smart guy. And he made the Stewart Hall of Honor, and it's one of the first guys taken. He's a guy who's never had a nomination to the Hall of Fame. No. It's so sad.
Well, Mr. Rooney, we're out of time, and I'm glad you had time to spend with us to talk about that great draft. I didn't expect some great Bill Nunn stories outside of football. We're talking Jackie Robinson, Henry Aaron.
I have about 5,000 more stories.
I know.
And they're all positive.
Well, maybe someday we'll do 3 hours together, or 2 hours. How's that sound?
That'd be good. My voice can hold out.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. Be safe, and thank you, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, I forgot Bill Nunn was a great writer for the Pittsburgh Courier, and to hear that, he had exclusive stories with Jackie Robinson, Henry Aaron, the story about, Mr. Rooney going to Arkansas State to see another player, and it was suggested maybe the best player was L.C. Greenwood. Great stuff. And think about this. Swan, Stallworth, Lambert, Webster, Shell all became Steelers in 1974. And now, thank you, Paul Harvey, now you know the rest of the story. And we'll be right back and talk with a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. But for a while, he's a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steel Curtain. John Banaszak, standing on deck to be on AM 1600, The Watchdog.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Watch your favorite TV channels now with help from Menards. Receive local HD digital broadcast channels for free with the help of RCA antennas. Watch the big game or catch up on the latest shows without the need for a cable subscription or an internet connection. An RCA amplified indoor TV antenna is perfect for better reception. Pick it up now for $14.99 at Menards. Sale prices are good through Saturday, February 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies,
Only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
This is Wheeling Fire Chief Larry Helms reminding everyone about the seriousness of this COVID-19 in our region during these colder weather months. This virus is spreading rapidly and could put a strain on our hospitals and emergency services. I am asking everyone to please wear a mask. It's important to make sure your mask covers your nose and your mouth at all times. Wearing a mask is one of the only defensive tactics we have to slow this virus down. Remember, wear a mask, stay apart, and wash your hands.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4444.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Across the Mountain State, most of the nor'easter is out of here to our north in Pennsylvania, New York, and up into New England. Meteorologist John Peck at the National Weather Service in Charleston said it did leave a mark on much of the Mountain State, particularly the higher elevations.
Certainly up toward Terra Alta, I think places like that got absolutely hammered with snow. 11 to 15-inch range up toward Terra Alta.
Officials say we'll see flurries continuing today and frigid temperatures tonight. Dr. Clay Marsh, a leader in the state's response to COVID-19, will testify this hour before a House subcommittee in Washington about the state's success in the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. Marsh had indicated this week that the vaccination program, as well as cooperation from the general public, is starting to drive down the COVID numbers.
People in West Virginia are doing a great job with the mask and mitigating, but importantly, it's the strategy we've taken with vaccinations. The fact we've vaccinated our nursing home residents, and now we're really aggressively vaccinating our older population.
Marsh's testimony will be before the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations of the Committee on Energy and Commerce. He's there at the invitation of Congressman David McKinley. Interagency Task Force on COVID-19 has learned of another error in vaccine distribution. A person got one manufacturer's shot for the first one, and then the second shot was from the other manufacturer. Medical experts do not believe it'll be a problem, but add the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are not interchangeable. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It is Groundhog Day, and as legend holds, if the groundhog emerges from his hole today and sees his shadow, we can expect 6 more weeks of winter. That's exactly what Punxsutawney Phil in neighboring Pennsylvania claimed earlier today. But here in West Virginia, a couple of groundhog predictions. Concord Charlie on the campus of Concord University in Athens did not see a shadow today, predicting an early spring on the campus there. The prediction from the state's official groundhog, French Creek Freddy, at the West Virginia Wildlife Center is due next hour. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Tune in to award-winning radio host Howard Monroe in The Morning Show. Weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. only on The Watchdog.
I think that was appropriate intro. Let's welcome number 76.
Stand up and salute, and bring back a lot of memories.
I didn't stand up and salute, should I?
Well, no, I do though.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah, I know, and I know. You know, since I was a little kid, I was involved with guns and shotguns and stuff. As I got older and I could afford guns, I always wanted guns that the Marines had, like the Glock 17, the Glock 19, the Beretta 92. What particular gun did you have or like, or you didn't?
Well, I qualified on the range with the M14. And they were phasing that out, okay, in Vietnam to the M16. Okay.
Yep. All right.
And that's pretty much the only rifles that I fired when I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay. You know, I knew a lot about the Marines because I always liked watching Gomer Pyle.
He was a good Marine.
Yeah, he was a funny Marine, right?
Yeah, he was a good one, for sure.
Okay, how you been, Johnny B?
Well, Johnny B's doing very well. Yeah. You know, in spite of everything that surrounds us, I'm doing okay, for sure.
I've hosted a few shows in the past 10 days that involved Steelers and players that played in Super Bowl since the Steelers aren't in one. And I tell you what, I'm learning more and more about some of these Steelers. I just had Art Rooney Jr. on talking about that great 74 draft when it was Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Jack Lambert, Mike Webster, and a guy went undrafted, but they took a chance on him, Donnie Shell. And I didn't know.
Donnie Shell and
my God.
Marv Kellum and Randy Grossman.
Yeah.
Okay, all came in that class of 74.
And then, you know, I was a big fan of Bill Nunn. I knew he was a newspaper writer for the Pittsburgh Courier. And Mr. Rooney said, you know, he had the privilege of interviewing Jackie Robinson and Henry Aaron. So the last 40 minutes has been a history class for me,
Here's another fun fact for you. Art Rooney Jr., United States Marine Corps Hall of Fame.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was in the reserves, which meant that he served 6 months of active duty. Okay. And then 6 years of inactive duty with the weekend warriors. Okay.
All right.
But we just elected him into the Marine Corps the Marine Corps Sports Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Art Rooney Jr., good man. Okay.
Yep.
You know, he is just a gracious guy. He didn't want any publicity out of it. You know, you don't have to do anything special for me. It's just the kind of guy he is. But we had a big dinner and back in November, and you know, his son and family came up for it and had a good time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm usually not wrong. I mean, I'm usually wrong. Andy Russell, wasn't he in the military?
He was in the Army, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because we used to talk about the Army-Navy game, which I think is the best rivalry in all of football. Best rivalry.
Absolutely. And if you really wanted to see a tremendous spectacle of sport and everything else that goes with it, you have to go to the Army-Navy game.
Yep.
The Army-Navy game is tremendous.
Yes, it is. And I couldn't wait for you guys to beat up on Roger Staubach, who beat my Army team in 1963. Army is still on the 1 foot line, and time ran out.
Yeah, well, we have other Roger Staubach things that we can talk about.
Yeah, first of all, say hello to Lola. She's a big Michigan person. I feel sorry for her Lions, but she knows that you played your football at Eastern Michigan, and there's so many players that came out of Michigan. You want to say hello to Lola, who's a big fan?
Hello, Lola.
Hi, John. How are you today?
Doing very well, Lola. Yeah, everything is fine. Eastern Michigan is, I'm a Huron. Okay.
Well, I'm a moron. No, go ahead.
I'm a Huron. I'm not an eagle. I'm a Huron. Yeah, a few years ago, had to succumb to the politically correct
Yes.
evidence, and we changed our nickname from the Hurons, who's completely supported.
I know.
Okay, that nickname, and it still was railroaded through, and they ended up changing it. But anybody before 1991, 92, one of those years they changed it, we still present ourselves as Hurons.
How'd you like Ypsilanti was one of my favoriteest towns.
Yeah, I enjoyed living in Ypsilanti for 4 years. It was fun. I had a great time.
Yep, and you can just quick hop and a jump over to Ann Arbor and all the things available there. The quad, So yeah, it's a great. That whole southern corner is just a great place to, live.
Well, I still have many friends, and when I do go back to Michigan, we stay in Milan, Michigan.
Well, I know where Milan's at. I'm from Mount Clemens, which is just north of Detroit. So
that's central Michigan.
Yeah. So I love it. We go back. Well, we still have family there, so we go back quite often. But
I give Central Michigan, even though I competed against them. I do respect them because they kept their name, the Chippewas.
Well, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah. And they will not change that. I can guarantee you that.
Hey, John, didn't the Steelers have a #1 draft pick from Eastern Michigan, a DB?
Yeah, Ronnie Johnson.
Yeah.
Ron Johnson was, God rest his soul, passed away a year or so ago. Yeah, #1 draft choice. Yeah. And a real good football player and a real good guy. No question about it.
Charlie Batch, an Eastern Mich alum?
How about that, huh? Yeah. So we get, we got a bunch of ball players there.
Yeah. Right. Hey, I'm from Washington, PA. I remember watching John Banaszak take W&J's football team to 4 PAC titles. How do you like that, John?
Yeah, Washpa is a good place.
Yeah, it is.
I have a lot of good friends in Washpa.
But you were supposed to buy me a drink at the Union Grill. What happened?
You never showed up. You stiffed me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make up for it. Hey, you were born in Cleveland, right? You weren't a Cleveland Browns fan, were you?
Oh my goodness, I was born and certainly was a Cleveland Browns fan. There's no doubt about that.
All right. Okay, let's talk about some Super Bowl appearances.
The correct word was.
Was,
okay.
Was
a Cleveland Browns fan.
In one of the ugliest, but I love the stadium. I just love that stadium,
I spent many Sunday afternoons in that stadium.
Yep.
And it was baseball too, because the Indians played there also.
Well, the Indians were okay, but they weren't that very good, and they were lucky to get 20,000 people in that 80,000 seat stadium. Then they had that guy in the center field.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some Super Bowl experiences. Your first Super Bowl with the Steelers was Super Bowl 10, right?
That is correct, okay? And they're playing Super Bowl 55.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Yeah.
The math is shocking.
Yeah, it is.
45 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy. You know what I remember about that game? I'm sitting in auxiliary seats, was like the 20-yard line at the old Orange Bowl, which was a dump.
Yeah.
The Star-Spangled Banner player was Tom Sullivan. And the backup chorus was Up With People. That voice, you remember the voice, how it carried?
I don't know whether we were on the field or we were probably on the field, but I don't remember the national anthem.
And what I remember was, I think it was a turning point. Was it Roy Girella missed a kick and Cliff Harris shoved him?
No, he tapped him on the head.
Yeah, and then Lambert went absolutely berserk. After that, I think that was a turning point in the game.
No question about it. No doubt about it. Yeah. The amazing thing is today Lambert probably would have been thrown out of the game.
Yeah, he would have been. He would have.
But he threw him down on the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
And the surprising thing was there weren't any Cowboys that came to his rescue.
That's true too.
If that would have happened to one of our players, you would have had a bench clearing brawl.
Yeah, I can imagine Ernie Holmes and Joe Green running to my rescue to rescue me because if I was their teammate. You're right. I recall that. You didn't see any other Cowboys do anything.
No, they just stood there, and to me anyway, it was like, why don't you go defend your teammate?
Yeah.
But they all left.
Yeah.
And poor Charlie Waters was on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Well, you got to play America's team a couple years after that. That bowl,
Yeah.
I've been to 30 Super Bowls covering, and I still tell people like John Clayton, who I'm talking to on Friday rather, and Ed
Oh,
Bouchard.
tell him I said hello.
I will. He's doing well. We used to keep
Yeah.
track with each other. Well, John, I'm on Super Bowl 28. Well, Bill, I've covered 35 already. He's covered 48 of those Super Bowls. Can you imagine?
Wow.
But Super Bowl 13 was my favorite. It was a close game, a good game, a lot of big plays, and I still see Franco running over Hollywood Henderson for that big touchdown.
Yeah. It was a great game. There's no doubt about it. It's probably my favorite one because it was really the first one that of 13 and 14. I started both games, but 13 was my first start, and I played pretty well, and it was just to be, a big part of the outcome of a game of that stature is just something that I can recall an awful lot about that game.
Yeah. Did you wet your pants when Jackie Smith dropped a touchdown pass?
No. Actually, I was on the field, and when he dropped the pass, I threw my arms up in the air. It was like, okay, good job, man.
And I remember Jack Lambert, he tackled Tony Dorsett, the great Tony Dorsett from Pitt, who wanted to play for the Steelers, but the Steelers said that's okay. But I remember TD had a couple of big gains, and then he got thrown back about 3 or 4 yards, and Lambert's there standing over him, pointing his finger in his face.
Yeah. I mean, we were known to taunt a little bit, but it was all, the game obviously has changed so much, and but it was just a great experience.
All right, let's go to another Super Bowl you attended. During Super Bowl week, Vince Ferragamo said, "I guarantee you we will beat the Steelers." And I said, "Who's he think he is, Joe Namath?" And although he had a decent game, I still see a couple of great catches, especially the one Stallworth made. And, what I couldn't realize until after the game, Jack Youngblood of the Rams played with a broken leg. You don't see that today, do you?
No, of course not. Yeah, I mean, the players today are pampered, and rightfully so. They will not, they're not going to step on the field if they have an injury. Whereas, us old guys, was a different story back then. If you didn't play, somebody was going to take your spot, and you may never play again. So that was the way, the attitude that we had as warriors. Today's players are not going to get an injection, in the knee for 13 weeks in a row, and then go out and play in Super Bowl 14. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. And then you have 4 championship rings. People say to Fabio, do your homework. No, he's got 3 Super Bowl rings, and then you want to I hate bringing up Michigan again. The Michigan Panthers won a USFL championship, and you were on that team.
That's correct, yes. I mean, that was a very unique experience for me, and to get another paycheck from playing football for the next 3 years was something that certainly helped what we're doing now anyway, being able to have a little bit of money. But yeah, I had 3 more years of football, and we won the first USFL championship, and we had a very, very good team. A lot of former Steelers were on that team. And, it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
And, God love him. I love the guy. Donald Trump is the one that really shut that league down.
Yeah, he wanted to go and compete with the NFL in the fall.
He sure did. He owned the New Jersey Generals. Yep. And he felt and persuaded the other owners to sue the National Football League.
He got $1, by the way.
And they won the case.
Yeah.
And they got actually $3.
What's the 3? Okay.
Because something in the law said that the compensation would be tripled. So we lost.
It costs people a lot of jobs. Hey, I want to bring up this name in a trade. You ready to do some trading? You have your Michigan Panthers championship ring?
I do.
I got something that would look good in the kitchen. I'll trade it straight up for you. A Terry Bradshaw hairpiece. Deal or no deal?
No. I still go to the barber that made that hairpiece.
Yeah. I also have his head I got from one of my barbers, and Terry and I used to endorse hairpieces. He got he got a lot of money. I was happy to get 2 free hairpieces a year, and Beano Cook would say, "Are you still wearing that dead squirrel on your head?" Okay, Beano. But how about Bradshaw? He was like a classic interview. He would say something to me about his shoulder. "Oh, Bill, I don't know if I can throw that. I don't know." And then John, either Steigerwald or Clayton would go with him. "How's the shoulder?" "Oh, man, I feel great." You didn't know what the hell to believe coming out of his mouth.
You got that from Ray Mansfield and all those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
They would sit down at Super Bowl week. Okay. It certainly was much smaller than it is today.
Yeah.
But Super Bowl 10, I can remember Ray Mansfield and Andy Russell and all the old crusty veterans sit at a table and answer a question. And there was nobody asking me any questions, being only one of 3 rookies that made that team. And Ray Mansfield would answer the question, "Oh, yeah, we're planning on running the football a little bit more."
Yeah.
And then the next guy would sit down and say, "You got anything about the game plan for me?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, we're going to throw the ball all over the park."
You should write a book, John. You should write a book. Hey.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, were you in the Astrodome when Donnie Shell, I can still hear the hit, when he hit Earl Campbell so hard, he broke several ribs. Were you there?
No. He only broke 1 rib.
1 rib? Okay.
Yeah, but Donnie said, "I thought I broke them all."
I can still hear that hit. That was a national TV game, wasn't it?
Oh, it was actually in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. All right. My memory's favorite. My memory's gone.
No, it was in Pittsburgh, and Donnie Shell hit him. I was probably 5, 10 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And all I heard was,
yeah. See, Earl should have taken a lesson from Franco Harris. When Franco saw he was going to be hit, he just ran off the sidelines. You know what I mean? He took care of his body.
I mean, that was a vicious hit.
Oh, yeah.
And seriously, he could not catch his breath for like 30 seconds.
Wow.
And on the field, 30 seconds is a long time.
I know.
Okay? When you can't catch your breath.
Yeah. I'd be dead if it was me.
Oh, and I mean, it was like, wow, Donnie, you probably killed him.
Yeah. How about the success of Bradshaw? We called him Little Abner for a number of reasons, But he's smiling all the way to the bank. Football shows, his own show with his family. He's doing okay.
He's got commercials when he's in his underwear and
Yeah.
cowboy hat on.
Yeah, every time there's a door, my door is knocked on, I think it's Terry Bradshaw. Hey, Bill, you got shingles? Remember that commercial?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable, smiling all the way to the bank. God love him.
Oh, absolutely. I love the man dearly. There's no question about it. If I need something for a tournament or fundraiser, all I have to do is call Terry, and it's on its way.
All right.
And so yeah. And then when he came up here and sung at the racetrack at the Meadowlands.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Huh? Remember
remember,
that a few years ago?
Yep.
Oh my God, we had a great time.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
I have both of his albums, one with hairpiece and one without. Make me a bid. I'm so lonesome I could cry. That was his hit. Well, he thought it was a hit, but it wasn't a hit.
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
But you gotta get Jerry. Oh God, help me. Moon Mullins. Okay, Moon Mullins was his manager. Okay, on the road.
All right.
Moon has all the stories about Bradshaw.
Okay, I'm writing it down. Hey, since I forgot to show up at the bar for your beer, I'll come over to. You still live in Peters Township?
I sure do.
Okay, we'll get together soon, JB. Thank you, man.
You bet, man. Love you. Take care.
All right, take care, Mr. Marine. We'll be back. Bill DeFabio needs a doctor because of arthritis. All right? That show is coming up in about 10 minutes.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
To select pharmacies across the country. This will provide more sites for people to get vaccinated in their communities, and it's an important component to delivering vaccines equitably.
An official prosecution brief in the Senate impeachment trials filed in the Senate. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze in Washington.
In an 80-page brief, the House impeachment managers argue former President Trump was singularly responsible for inciting the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. The Democratic lawmakers depict the Capitol riot as part of a broader effort by the former president to overturn the presidential election at any cost, and they urge the Senate to convict Trump and prevent him from holding federal office in the future.
In his defense, former President Trump denied he engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States, and he continued to press his false claim about the election. A defense filing to the Senate said on January 6th, President Trump expressed his opinion that the election results were suspect, and the filing said insufficient evidence exists to conclude whether he was accurate or not. The House impeachment managers said the First Amendment was never intended to allow a president to provoke lawless action if he loses at the polls.
ABC's Aaron Katursky, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez detailing her experiences in the Capitol Hill attack. ABC's Rachel Scott in Washington.
After running to another building, Ocasio-Cortez found Congresswoman Katie Porter. The two barricaded themselves in her office along with members of their staff for hours. Ocasio-Cortez comparing that day to another past trauma, revealing she is also a survivor of sexual assault.
When we go through trauma compounds on each other.
The Moscow court has ordered Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny to prison on charges of probation violation. You're listening to ABC News.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A tough speed bump to achieving herd immunity to COVID is on smartphones and computers.
The Kaiser Family Foundation has found that 51% of us either refuse to get vaccinated or are waiting to see how it's working. Public health officials lay blame for the hesitancy at the feet of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Social media has been a disaster during this pandemic.
Dr. Antonio Falcone is the health authority in Starr County, Texas, and he's trying to counter the misinformation.
There's so much out there.
He says Starr County's majority Latino population is deeply suspicious of the vaccine, partly based on what's been said on social media. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A major days-long snowstorm has walloped parts of the Northeast with more than 2 feet of snow in some areas. ABC's Eva Pilgrim in Massachusetts says as far as emergency officials go,
they're worried about that freezing as the temperatures go down throughout the day, because that's what they're expecting. The temperatures will slowly but surely get more and more cold. And they're even saying that early afternoon, these roads could be dangerous. They're warning people to watch for black ice.
An actor with many notable movie roles has died, Hal Holbrook. He was on the classic TV sitcom Designing Women, played a lawyer in the Tom Cruise movie The Firm, and was the character Bob Woodward's Watergate source, Deep Throat, in the dark, ominous parking garage in the film All the President's Men. He also played Mark Twain on stage for decades. Hal Holbrook was 95. This is ABC News.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
President Barack Obama, born in Honolulu, Hawaii, graduated from Columbia and Harvard University, served as a Chicago organizer, became the Senator of Illinois, and the 44th President of the United States, the first African American to do so. That ought to tell all of us, big dreams do come true. That's not just Black history, that's American history.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah? You got 2 Coors Lights up there? You got it!
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster.
Well, look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mostly cloudy and cold right through the afternoon. A daytime high near 30 degrees. Overnight low of 23 degrees. Mostly cloudy. Stays mostly cloudy for your Wednesday. A few peaks of sunshine. Temperatures near the freezing mark through the day. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
There's a little black spot on the sun today. It's the same old thing as yesterday. There's a black hat caught in a high tree top. There's a flagpole rack and the wind won't stop. I have stood here before inside the pouring rain, with the world turning circles running round my brain. I guess I'm always hoping that you'll end this way, but it's my destiny to be the king of pain. There's a little black spot on the sun today.
I am the king of pain. I know I take 12 pills a day, lots of insulin, but it's the arthritis that's killing me. So this is another segment of Bill, I need a doctor. Let's welcome, I'll tell you what, Lola, you're his patient. Introduce our doctor.
This is Dr. Derek Andrini from Wheeling Hospital. And yes, he is my doctor.
Hey, Doc, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining us.
I'm fine, Bill, and I'm sorry to hear you have arthritis, because that's one of the problems that we know quite a bit about, but don't know how there's a quick and easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the arthritis at?
Knees, my hip, left hip, and in my shoulder.
Okay. Which one do you want to talk about?
Well, you know, I don't know if I'm going to take the vaccine shot, but I will take a lot of shots of Fireball. That may help. What do you think, Doc? You ever prescribe Fireball to your patients?
I'll tell you, Fireball works really well, but then you can't walk too straight.
Well,
So
I'm
you
not
have to
walking too
be-
straight today. Let's start. The worst is probably my knees. It almost takes me a day for me to get out of bed and both feet land on the ground, you know?
Sure. Well, let me tell you something. The knees are like the tires on a car, and you can buy the best tires money can buy. But after so many miles, you're going to look at the tires and you're going to say, wow, there's, some wear on these tires. And that doesn't mean you throw the tires away and get new ones. You have options. And the same thing goes for your knees. Your knees have put on the mileage. There is some wear and tear changes, I'm sure, in both those knees. And so now you have to say, okay, so what are my options? And like the tires on a car, you can keep the alignment good, the tire pressure right, don't slam on the gas, don't jam on the brakes, don't carry too much weight in the car. Well, the same thing goes for your knees. You have options. And one of the options you have is to be careful with your activity. And what that means is to be respectful, and if you're doing something and it hurts, quit. Now, most times people with arthritis in their knees, they have problems with squatting and kneeling. So we wouldn't want you on your hands and knees scrubbing floors, painting baseboards, picking weeds out of the garden. The other thing that'll get you in trouble is going downstairs or down a hill. That puts quite a bit of pressure on the kneecap joint and can cause the grinding and discomfort. Okay, So what else can be done? Well, anti-inflammatories like Advil, ibuprofen, Motrin, Aleve, Celebrex. But every pill has a side effect, and we don't want you getting a bleeding ulcer or something like that. But an anti-inflammatory can help. Now, there's more that can be done. If the knee is inflamed and swollen and warm, a steroid shot can help. And that will help quickly, like within 1 or 2 days. But it doesn't last. It only lasts for maybe a month or two. Another option is what we call viscosupplementation. And that's different than cortisone. It's not an anti-inflammatory, it's a lubrication. So it's like putting oil or grease into the knee so that when you bend and straighten it, it doesn't grind as badly. And that can help with the discomfort. Now, remember I told you cortisone works really fast, like within a day or two?
Yes, sir.
The lubrication shots take a good 2 to 3 months to be at full strength. But the beauty is it can last for 9 months to a year. And if it works, you can get it year after year after year. Now, with arthritis, with time, it gets worse. It never gets better. It always gets worse. And if the shots and the conservative management isn't working, then the next step is surgery. And surgery is not fun, so it's never our first choice. But when all conservative management fails, then the next step is knee replacement. And that's when you need the new tires on the car.
Wow. You know what, Doc? I got a coupon.
Yeah.
I can get 4 tires for the price of 3 at Midas. What do you think?
It sounds good. Now, you know, nothing is cheap anymore. Like this viscosupplementation, the medication alone is like $800. And fortunately, most insurance companies do pay for it. But it's not a guarantee that it's going to work. On the horizon are these injections called PRP, protein-rich plasma. And I don't know if you heard about this, but they take your blood, they spin it down, and they get the healing cells called the stem cells. And then they're injecting them into the knee joint. And that also has some promise of giving some relief. But doing all these injections and medications, it doesn't cure the arthritis. It can take the pain and cut it in half or more, but it's not going to make it that you can run, you know, a marathon.
Heat seems to help my knee. If I have a heating pad, it seems to help a little bit. Not a lot, but it helps.
Yeah, and there's, if you see on TV, there's this Voltaren gel that they're advertising.
I got that. When I was in Italy, I bought that.
Yeah, and it works. It can really help. So what I tell my patients is that if they try something and it seems to give relief, go for it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Well, I worry about the Advil and other pills you can take over the counter because I take so many other pills. And I don't want to mix and match. I don't want something not to go with this and all that. But
right, and every pill has a side effect. And if you're on a blood thinner, you cannot take the anti-inflammatories. So if you're on Coumadin or Plavix, Eliquis, one of those blood thinners for your heart, you can't be on the anti-inflammatory.
I have a heart problem too. But you know what? I'm just a piece of steak with Band-Aids around it. You know, Doc?
But hey, listen, we all have been abusive to our bodies, and you know, if we knew now, back when we were teenagers, I think we'd be a little more careful, right?
Yeah. You know, I'm a diabetic on insulin, and I can't believe the insulin I take now would only cost like $6.99 a pen in Canada. Why is it cheap in Canada and expensive in the United States?
It's unreasonable. I just can't figure that one out, and hopefully, you know, the prices will come down. You know, but the drug prices are exorbitant. And I have patients that come in and they say, Doc, I can't afford it. And in the olden days, we used to have samples. but no longer. I can't get a sample. So
Can we use Lola as an example? You know, I'm the king of pain. She's in pain. What have you done for her? First of all, what does she have?
Oh, well, I don't know. Are we going to violate any HIPAA regulations?
Lola?
I don't know about the HIPAA, but I'll just say I have a torn meniscus, and I did it almost 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And so I went to see Dr. Andrini, and he shot it full of cortisone, which worked really well. But you did send me to a surgeon to see if I needed to have anything done. You know, I think laparoscopy.
Surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, no, as long as, you know, the cortisone shots continue to keep it in check. So he left. And so I've been coming back to you. And what about every 3 months, 4 months? I usually do it, a month out of a vacation or a special occasion, which of course this past year really hasn't been any. But I like to get one before Blues Fest and before vacation.
Sure. Now, with a meniscus tear, what that means is that the cushion between the upper and lower bone of the knee has torn. And when this cushion tears, when the meniscus tears, it doesn't have the property to heal up. So once you have a tear in your meniscus, it stays torn. Now, if the tear is small or lies flat, the patient is pain-free. But if they pivot or torque or twist, the tear can flip and rub and irritate and give the feeling of giving way and a good jolt of pain. So with meniscus tears, they normally do not improve at all doing conservative management. Now, if the patient has a meniscus tear along with arthritis and inflammation, the conservative management gives significant relief, and the meniscus tear doesn't bother them that much.
Mine really is, I can tell if I've done something, you know, gorked it one way or the other.
Yep.
It'll be, you know, kind of sore. So I just put ice on it, stay off of it for a day or so.
Yep.
And then I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
That's terrific. Yeah, now the treatment for meniscus tears when they need surgery is arthroscopic surgery.
Right.
And that is an outpatient surgery where the patient comes into the hospital in the morning, has general anesthesia, 2 or 3 little tiny nicks are made in the knee, and a telescope smaller than a pencil is put inside the knee. The tear is removed. The patient recovers in recovery room, can walk home. In 2 to 3 days, starts exercising, and in 3 to 4 weeks, the knee is feeling great. So meniscal surgery is done quite often, and the results are extremely gratifying.
I know, I'm just a big baby.
No, you're not.
Hey, Doc, I'm a bigger baby, you know?
No.
And here's my biggest problem.
Go
I
ahead.
drive a lot to Wheeling 4 times a week. Sometimes I have basketball games because I do the PA announcer for a local college. And a lot of times I'll do security or whatever in Pittsburgh. Well, if I'm going from Washington to Pittsburgh, it takes me a little while to get out of my car after I park it. Same when I come to Wheeling. In the parking lot, I got like one leg out. Oh, yeah, I feel great. Then the other leg, not so good. But when I do my 10,000 steps a day, you know, I feel great walking.
Yeah, exactly, because once you're sitting in the car for an hour, things really stiffen up. And did you ever catch yourself trying to adjust the seat, moving it up and back and up and down just to find the right spot so you're comfortable, or you've never tried that yet?
Oh, yes, I'm the best seat remover around. I do that a lot. Oh, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, because if you can get the seat in the exact spot, it can help. But you're right, sitting in the car for an hour is a killer, and it takes you, 5-10 minutes to limber up and get going.
Yeah, that's why I walk down the street to get Lola breakfast or dinner or whatever, or grab a cup of coffee or whatever. I'll feel great. I feel much better.
You're a good boss.
I'm a good boss? I'm nobody's boss. I do my show from 12 to 2. If anything, Lola's the boss.
Okay.
Why do you think I
That's
feed
right,
her for, Doc?
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, you know, she's a well-fed producer, executive producer. She can call herself anything. I know from 12 to 2, I can depend on her. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Okay. Would I want to see her before 12 or after 2? No way. No, she's a good girl. And that pill you were talking about, $800, is that a pill?
No, that's for the injectable.
Oh,
that's
my
for
goodness.
That's for the lubrication shot. But like I said, when it works, it lasts for a good 9 months to a year.
Okay. For some of the older listeners, they're probably saying, would Medicare cover it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They do.
Yeah, thank goodness for Medicare. But, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I see a lot of, we've been dedicating the last 9 shows or so to Steelers or local people from Western Pennsylvania or Ohio that's played in a Super Bowl. And almost all the 70 Steelers that I've had on, even John Banaszak was on here, they've had arthritis problems as they age. You know, they took a lot of hits, and they took a lot of surgeries, and, you know, it's scary. You know, I see guys like they're humped over, you know, they could barely walk. Joe Green, you know, I could call Joe Green a nasty name. He can't chase me because he can barely walk with arthritis, you know?
Yeah, and those professional athletes, they abuse their bodies every single day.
Every play, too.
And every play. And you know, they get hit, they get torqued, they get twisted, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not for me. I don't like getting hit.
That's why I never say so-and-so's not worth this money. Because in football, your career could end in one hit. In baseball, you could be a great hitter. You might get, you know, if you don't get hit in the butt or hit in the ribs, you might get hit in the head and your career's done. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and the head injuries, as you know, are really severe. And that's something that's relatively new that everybody's so aware of.
Yes. You know, I've had guys, I just talked to one last night, I won't mention his name, and hopefully he'll be on the show on Friday when I load up with Steelers and Thursday. By the way, I'll tease my Thursday's guest because I'm a ham. All right? That's all I'm going to say. I'm a ham on the radio. But anyhow, a lot of these guys, you know, hey, Jim, how are you? No, it's Bill. Okay. Now I'm starting to do that. I'll talk to somebody, or somebody will see me, and don't I know you? You know, now the brain's going. Doctor?
Yep.
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Off the record?
Yep.
The pain will go away. I won't be the king of pain if I get a lobotomy. Do they do that at Wheeling Hospital?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know, Doc. I think we could arrange for something to be done, don't you?
Oh, I love it.
And she's mad because she's not in the will, Doc, but that's okay. That's all right.
All right.
But, you know, so somebody who has just some aches and pains, maybe just a little bit of arthritis, what is the best recommendation that can maybe ease the pain?
Number one, restrict activity. Be respectful of your body, and if you're doing something and it hurts, stop. If it hurts, first try putting ice on it, maybe 3 or 4 times a day, 10 minutes at a time. After about 3 or 4 days, if you want to switch to heat, but don't leave the heat on and burn yourself, you know, that is not unreasonable. To take the occasional anti-inflammatory, Advil, ibuprofen, Aleve, as long as you're not on a blood thinner, that's also not unreasonable. If you are on a blood thinner, you might want to try Tylenol, follow the directions on the bottle, and those are the relative simple things you can do. If the pain continues or it's getting worse instead of getting better, to see your family doctor or specialist is not unreasonable at all, and he might consider a cortisone shot or other conservative management.
Okay. I like the injection of fireballs, you know? I'm serious. I can have 3 or 4 and I'll be out. I don't have to worry about walking to the bed. You know, I'll just walk away and fall on the floor. But yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, well, it's great. I was thinking of doing something like this with my good friend Dr. Campsey from Claysville. And he said, that's a great idea for both you, your audience, and the hospital. And so you have a great marketing gal out there, and every week she's coming up because I have so many ailments, there's got to be a doctor for somebody. Next week I got IBS doctor on, I hope, or whatever, you know. But I'm learning about all this stuff, you know.
Well,
I
if
have a
there's
torn
any-
rotator cuff too. Did I tell you about that? I don't
No,
want.
go
I don't
ahead.
want to be in that cast for 6 weeks. So I said,
Oh.
the heck with it. And it's not very painful, so whatever.
Well, if you have a rotator cuff tear and it's not painful, you don't need surgery. The only time you want to have surgery on your rotator cuff is if it's painful and limiting you from doing things you want to do.
Yeah. How can I wave at Lola? Because I'm right-handed, you know? I can't give her the thumbs up, so to speak. But I got the left hand. But
There you go.
yeah. So I thought would be a great example using me for a sample with cause all these aches and pains and pills and stuff. If I help one listener out there, I've done my job.
There you go.
How you like that?
I like it too.
All right, Doc. I'll keep in touch with you. By the way, you've been at Wheeling Hospital since 1982. Now that I've got to know you, you're probably ready to retire, right?
Oh, gosh, not yet. I still have a family to take care of.
All right. Doc, it's been a pleasure. And I
Likewise.
hope we can do it again. Thank you for all the information. And thank you for talking about Lola's ailments that's not named DeFabio. And, you know, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And we'll touch bases again down the road.
Thanks, Bill. Lola, you take care. Bye-bye now.
See you soon.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm glad you told me that, Lola, at the beginning of the show. Yeah. But,
He's a great guy. He really is.
$800 for a shot?
Yeah, but you know, it's good for a long time.
Have you ever had one?
No, I just get cortisone, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know, a case of Bud Light will help, right? It'll knock you out.
Mine is not, I can tell when it's time for another shot because it starts feeling just a little sloppy in there. And like I said, if I've got something that I want to do, like last year when we were going to Detroit for Garth Brooks, I got a shot. That was in February. I got a shot in December. So it was feeling really good. Then usually I get one like in June or July for the Blues Fest. And then I get another one beginning of September for vacation at the beginning of October. And that's roughly every 3 months. And, you know, it keeps my knee feeling fine and I don't have to worry about getting it operated on I know at some point I probably will have to, but I'm just trying to put it off as long as possible.
I'm glad that, you know, all these doctors have been helpful.
What?
I'm glad we've had these doctors on
Uh-huh.
because I'm learning a lot, you know. I hope I don't get any bills in the mail. I don't know who we're having next week or the following week, but I know we got about 7 or 8 weeks where we can really discuss a lot of ailments involving me and everybody else. What else bothers you, Lola, other than me?
Bill, I don't have nary the list of ailments that you do.
Okay.
The only other thing, I've got rheumatoid, and it has a whole host of things, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's...
By the way, do you sleep well at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I take melatonin.
Oh, all right. All right. Are you hungry, Lola?
Well, I know.
What's
wine
coming
and
up, Lola?
Wine and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I had sandwiches. I made sandwiches for you and myself, and I couldn't eat one I had. I gave half of it to Biff, and I saw Biff, like, throwing away the tomatoes. He doesn't like tomatoes.
Well,
So I know that now. But he likes bacon, too.
everybody likes bacon because everything is better with bacon and butter.
Yeah, okay. You put bacon on your pizza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to take a break.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to go from former Steelers, a Steelers scout, co-owner, to John Banaszak talking about the Marines in Eastern Michigan, blah, 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 to one of our favorite segments here at AM 1600, wine and cheese. That's a good combination, but not like DeFabio and Miller. We'll be right back.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage
Are
Merchant.
you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Menards has the flooring you need to give your home a fresh look. Check out our great selection of Shaw flooring. Durable laminate flooring can be installed over most floors. Repel Cumberland laminate flooring is water resistant, making it good for any room in your home. Plus, it's available in 3 unique wood grain finishes. It's only $2.19 a square foot now at Menards. Sale prices are good through Saturday, February 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. Some lingering snowfall across the mountain state. Most of the nor'easter is out of here to our north in Pennsylvania, New York, and up into New England. Meteorologist John Peck at the National Weather Service in Charleston said it did leave a mark on much of the mountain state, particularly the higher elevations.
Certainly up toward Terra Alta, I think places like that got absolutely hammered with snow. 11 to 15-inch range up toward Terra Alta.
Officials say we'll see flurries continuing today and frigid temperatures tonight. Dr. Clay Marsh, a leader in the state's response to COVID-19, will testify this hour before a House subcommittee in Washington about the state's success and the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. Marsh had indicated this week that the vaccination program, as well as cooperation from the general public, is starting to drive down the COVID numbers.
People in West Virginia are doing a great job with the mask and mitigating, but importantly, it's the strategy we've taken with vaccinations. The fact we've vaccinated our nursing home residents, and now we're really aggressively vaccinating our older population.
Marsh's testimony will be before the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations of the Committee on Energy and Commerce. He's there at the invitation of Congressman David McKinley. Interagency Task Force on COVID-19 has learned of another error in vaccine distribution. A person got one manufacturer's shot for the first one, and then the second shot was from the other manufacturer. Medical experts do not believe it'll be a problem, but add the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are not interchangeable. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It is Groundhog Day, and as legend holds, if the groundhog emerges from his hole today and sees his shadow, we can expect 6 more weeks of winter. That's exactly what Punxsutawney Phil in neighboring Pennsylvania claimed earlier today. But here in West Virginia, a couple of groundhog predictions. Concord Charlie on the campus of Concord University in Athens did not see a shadow today, predicting an early spring on the campus there. The prediction from the state's official groundhog, French Creek Freddy, at the West Virginia Wildlife Center is due next hour. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Attention Facebook followers. You can now watch the Valley's #1 morning show with Howard Monroe, weekdays 7 to 10 a.m., only on Watchdog Radio and the Watchdog Facebook page.
A big boy beer, 19 ounces. If you're at the game in Tampa, it's going to cost you $20. That's like $1 an ounce. Lola, how can they do that?
Because I can.
Popcorn. Popcorn, $15. Don't say how big of a cup. A pretzel, $9. A cup of cheese to go with the pretzel, $3.50. So if any of you, by the way, they have sold some tickets. I don't know if it's scalpers, $40,000 a pop. So Janet, if I were to take you to the Super Bowl, okay? And yeah, I can't hear you. I don't know why. Okay. All right. That's better?
Can you hear me
us,
now?
Lola?
Okay.
I can really hear you.
Okay. I think we're good now.
That means I got a big mouth. See what I take from her, Janet? No, I'll take you to the islands, Janet, if you want to go there instead of Tampa.
That sounds better, actually.
I mean Wheeling Island.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You can slide your way right over there, I'm telling you.
Oh, boy.
But there are people, scalpers, getting $40,000 for a ticket on a 50-yard line. Imagine if you take your better half, before you blink an eye and start eating and drinking, that's $80,000. You know how many people homeless people I could feed in Wheeling? I'd get all the food, box lunch from Valley Cheese, and Janet would help me distribute it.
Sure.
$80,000 worth of food would feed a lot of people.
It certainly would.
You know, and the view they have is not going to be like the view I have on my 55-inch TV. You know, in my game room, with the little refrigerator, with some pop in there, and a couple of beers and some wine, you know, or a cheese plate from
Right,
Valley Cheese.
right.
And I wouldn't have to spend $80,000. And I remember Super Bowl I tickets were going from $10 to $15. Wow. But Super Bowl I had 30,000 or 40,000 empty seats. Oh, you brought me a football.
I did bring some miniature cheese balls. Of course, they're larger.
She didn't get one, did
But
she?
absolutely, she
Why?
did.
I want something
And
that
a
she don't
chicken
have.
salad sandwich, too, yes.
She got that too?
She did. And so did you, right there.
Yeah, okay. All right. And pretzels?
It's Super Bowl week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know, the miniature footballs.
Those
They're
pretzels-
not quite that small when I serve them, sell them. You know, there's like a 1 pound and a 2 pound. So they're like $8 and $15, but they're delicious. They taste like pepperoni pizza on the inside. So call in with your order.
Imagine if you're a parent of a couple of kids and you send one of the kids to the concession stand, maybe you give him a $50 bill. He'd come back with almost nothing, or she. A pretzel, what's it cost to make a pretzel? Now, these are big pretzels. And how much is a cup of cheese? Gee.
And it's not real cheese either.
No, not from Wisconsin?
No, I mean, it's Cheese Whiz. Probably not from Wisconsin, no.
As a kid, I
It's
used
like
to
the
put
stuff in a
Cheez Whiz
can.
on Ritz crackers. Those crackers you gave me, was it last week?
Uh-huh.
I hid them from the family, you know what I mean? So, but those are good crackers. Oh, they're delicious. When I need a late night snack, I go for the crackers. And maybe some provolone cheese or something.
There you go.
The thin sliced one.
Right.
Low fat,
Uh-huh.
gluten free.
Yes.
Everything's gluten free. Is that overrated?
No,
No? Okay.
no. A lot of people need to watch their gluten intake.
Okay, yeah, all right. Now, Corey's with us. Hand me the ball. Corey's not with us, but Ma Bell said you can always do a talk show if you have by a telephone. What do you want to do, break the phone?
Sorry.
Boy, is that cold. This is Corey on the line? Oh, boy. We better drink this up. If there's any left, I'm taking this home and drinking it on the way home. Probably get arrested. Corey, are you there?
I'm here. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how are you? You didn't get snowed in, did you?
No, it didn't get snowed in, no, but my worker, she wasn't feeling too good today, so I told her just to stay home. No sense in bringing anything around.
By the way, your bottle's half gone.
Oh, is it already?
Yeah, Janet and I haven't had a glass yet. Lola's drinking it all.
Now, Corey, do you believe that? Because you know Janet and I split everything.
Yeah. This is Tropical Peach Moscato. Let's get it on the Facebook. There you go. People watch this, Janet.
I bet.
Yeah, I watched you on Facebook doing an interview. I got that compliment down at the restaurant. First of all, what's the alcohol? Only 5%. You got to bring 4 bottles of this next time.
Yeah, those Moscatos don't typically have a real high alcohol percentage. They leave some of that residual sugar in there so you keep the sweetness. But those are the same guys who made the cranberry Moscato that went crazy this holiday season. So the peach is the new seasonal they just came out with. So Italian Moscato, they use peach pulp, peach puree in there with it, and then filter it out at the end to get that nice golden color. But it's been a hit so far. I haven't tasted it myself, but that'll probably happen this weekend, I'd say.
Yeah, leave it to the Italians, right, for food and wine. This was made in Italy. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the ingredients. Peach, water, peach pulp, peach, natural flavors, what's that C word? Citric acid, and carbon dioxide? Why is there carbon dioxide in my drink?
Well, you get that little carbonation out of it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's forced in by carbon dioxide, and other times it'll go through a secondary fermentation. So they'll ferment the wine the first time, and then as they cap it off, they won't kill the yeast. So that'll develop a natural carbon dioxide in there. But a lot of time with the Moscatos, I do believe they're carbon dioxide forced.
Shame on me. I usually go to Lola, our expert. I'm going to suspend myself. I won't be here after 2. Lola, good, great, very good. What fair?
It's really, really good.
Oh,
it's
man.
nice and sweet and light. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's very
This would go perfect with I'm making Southern style pork chops with pineapple rice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be good.
So, Lola, I'm coming to your house for dinner for pork chops tonight?
No, that would be a no.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm not making them tonight.
Oh, okay,
It's
all
going to be, that's for this weekend.
What are you having, a party, Corey?
A party? No, not quite yet. No, I just had
Was that the snowblower out there making noise?
Yeah, sorry, I had my cell phone was ringing in the background, and I had a couple people in, so I'm double or multitasking and then restocking the shelf while I chat with you here.
By the way, Lola, this bottle in Michigan's worth 10 cents.
I know.
Yeah, okay. You save the bottles?
No,
When you go to Michigan?
I have so many cases of empty Bud Light bottles that are on my back porch for if we ever can make it up to Michigan. I won't have to actually purchase beer. I can just take the empties in.
Lola, can I have a little bit more? Is that all right?
Yes, I guess.
Thank you, Lola. You're such a sweetheart. I love you so much. Not. All right. Janet, give me your glass. Oh, you better pour it. I'll put it all over here. Got to spend money buying a new phone and stuff. Corey, you got any specials you want to announce? This segment's yours.
Oh, well, yeah, always got some great wines coming, but I tell you, it's more fun beers have came through since last week, so I do kind of want to throw them out there and mention them. I know one of these will definitely catch Lola's interest, but I got some new stuff from DuClaw, so they've been putting out these little one-off kind of specialty beers, but I pulled in their patriarchy, so one of them's a Mexican hot chocolate brown ale, which I'm kind of looking forward to.
Would you repeat that, please? I got to write it down.
Yeah, the patriarchy, so it's a Mexican hot chocolate brown ale. So a lot of these Mexican hot chocolate-inspired beers have been popping up the past few years. I know Stone Chocoveza was one of the first, but you get a lot of cinnamon out of them. You get that good, rich chocolate. This one being a brown ale, not going to be near as heavy as the others because a lot of them are stouts that they do. So I think you'll definitely get a lot more of the cinnamon, chocolate, and spices out of that than ever. I pulled in their Sour Me. So Sour Me's kind of been a good little popular line here lately with the sour ales, but they did a black apple sour ale. So that should be pretty fun to try out. They did a sour IPA, actually 2 different sour IPAs, so that'll be kind of a little oddball. You either get the hoppiness or you get sour from most beers, but for these, they put them together, so I'm excited to check that out, too. Hop Slam by Bell's is here, which is a big double IPA, about 10% alcohol out of Michigan. So one that people look forward to every year. There's all kinds of fun beers flowing through right now.
Yeah, I didn't make it down Saturday to pick up.
No problem. I've still got a 4-pack of the Blushing Monk in the back room for you, and I should probably go ahead and throw a 4-pack of this Black Apple back there for you, too.
Probably you should.
I don't think a 4-pack's enough. How about making an 8-pack?
An 8-pack, I think we can do that. But 4 pints, 16-ounce cans, so it's a little more than what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's enough. That's worth one sitting.
No, absolutely.
All right, Janet. This peach wine, whatever it is, it's great. What do you have with it? What kind of cheese? How about the cheese that's in here?
Not really the pepperoni pizza cheese ball, I don't think, no. You would want more of like a goat cheese or a feta, something salty, sharp cheddar.
Okay.
Even like an Asiago or something would go well with that.
What about if Lola's serving dinner for Bill and she's going out of her way to cook a great meal? If she's cooking the meat, would this go with it?
It certainly would, especially her pork chops that she was saying.
Yeah.
And we have a peach salsa that could be served with those too that would be really good.
A peach what?
Peach salsa.
Oh, boy.
You know, that would go well with the rice. Put the peach salsa in and let that cook. Yeah.
Yes.
You know I got to ask you this. We talk about it every day because I see so many commercials. Would this go good with Spam, Corey?
The way her sticky spam usually sounds, I think it would. I think it'd hold up.
Well, this is a winner. Lola, pretty good stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely it is.
There's enough for you and Linda. Will you share what's left with Linda?
Sure.
Yeah. That bottle won't leave the station, believe me.
No, and I sent you my last bottle down, but Friday I'll have about a case of it coming in. So I plan on having that open to sample on Friday and Saturday if anyone wants to stop down and try it out.
Janet, mention that again. I don't want to reach over and grab the bottle.
It's a tropical peach Moscato.
Corey, how much?
$13. So
Wow,
it's a
that's
couple
a deal.
bucks cheaper than what the cranberry was.
Is there a DeFabio discount?
We can maybe work something out for you, Bill.
No, you don't have to give me a discount. All the things you do for us, and you know, it's a great team effort on our part here at the station, Janet and of course Corey. So keep up the good work.
Hi there.
Does this come in a strawberry or a cherry or an apple?
It does, yeah. It does come in a strawberry, cherry, and apple. I don't think they do make a mango. They make a passion fruit. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything right now or not.
You're
But hey, guys,
getting to be like me. I'm forgetting everything.
yeah, that's but hey, I do apologize, guys. I got to run. I've got a couple that just came in, so I got to jump
Hey,
off here.
it's all about business, so get off the phone, will you?
It is. Hey, thanks, Well, I hope you all enjoy.
All right, see you this weekend.
Oh, yeah. We've enjoyed it, all right.
Oh, good. Good. See ya.
Yeah, I'm going to feel good. I might eat that football on my way to Washington. Now, you make the big ones of these, too, right?
Yes, we do.
And
It's
that would be
it's like
great
a
for-
2-pound cheese ball.
Oh, the Super Bowl's this Sunday.
It is, yes.
Well, you got about 7 minutes to make some
Okay.
suggestions. The microphone belongs to you.
We're doing fruit and vegetable, meat and cheese platters, all the different cheese balls that we carry. Of course, the football cheese ball is the specialty for Super Bowl week. You know, after this week, we won't be making them until whenever football starts back up
Will you
in
sell a
the
lot of
summer.
these?
We will, yes, and I can do the individual single ones like I just did for you guys too. You know, and package them separately, just so people can eat off of their own plate instead of, you know, social distance the cheese
For
balls.
the whole game, right? Because I got to watch the whole game.
Right.
So does Lola. She has
Right.
an assignment. You know what her assignment is? Check out all the ads.
Yeah.
And then-
going to be in.
They're not going to be as good, I don't think.
No, I know. We'll go for the top 5 lousiest ads.
I usually root for the food,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So of course, and I can do a combination of fruit, vegetable, cheese, and meat all on one plate
Yeah.
too. If people are looking into that, I can make wraps, trays of finger sandwiches and wraps already pre-made, so you just grab and go.
I can
we
get those
sell
Friday, right?
chipped
I can get
ham
those
for
Friday.
barbecue chipped
Yeah.
ham sandwiches.
I
People
don't know
throw all that in a crock pot, slap it on a bun, a slice of cheese. You know, it's great football food.
Barbecued chip chopped ham.
Yes, Isley's barbecue
Yeah.
sauce and Isley's
I
barbecue
know.
chipped ham. Yes, it's good.
Oh, boy. With beer or wine? Doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter. Probably beer with that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give you a slight order Thursday and pick it up Friday.
Okay, sounds good.
I just slap this in the refrigerator, right?
Sure can.
Yeah, this will go good with those crackers.
Yes, it will.
It's got the little black dots in it.
Mhm.
What are those things? Pepper? What is it?
That's like a flaxseed or something, I
Flaxseed?
believe. There's like, that was the 8-grain cracker that I gave you.
8
They're called
grain?
Vintas. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
Kind of sweet, too. I don't know what the sweetness, what's bringing out the sweetness.
I will not
but-
eat a vegan pizza Sunday.
No, I
will-
wouldn't either.
I will splurge.
It's all about meat on football.
Yeah, double cheese, mushrooms, pepperoni, sausage.
Chicken wings, cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah. I
Beef
tried a
jerky.
I tried a cheeseburger pizza from, I don't want to mention Domino's. It wasn't bad. And, but, you know, I said, I'll save it for later. Well, a son named Anthony made sure I didn't have it later. He took care of it. He stays up late at night selling his Star Wars and Batman toys and stuff. Making a lot of money, by the way, but he gets the munchies. But this will be my munchie Sunday. Make some popcorn, too.
Mhm.
Pizza. Yeah. Don't worry about the cold weather. I guess Thursday or Friday is supposed to be 1 degree or something.
Is it really again? Ugh.
I don't know. I don't know. The weather changes from Washington to here, you know.
The sun is shining today. That makes
is.
me happy. As long
Oh,
as the
yeah.
sun shines.
know.
It's been a while. It's been
What
hiding
is that
itself.
thing in the sky?
Right.
So, like
It brings the
Giant-
people out, too,
Yeah.
when the sun shines.
So, like Shop and Save, Giant Eagle, and Kroger down here, don't wait till the last second to do your shopping, okay? Because Mrs. D will go crazy. She's got to work Saturday and Sunday, and people are just going to go crazy shopping for Super Bowl because everybody's going to have a party.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you might not go to the game, but you're going to have parties everywhere. Of course, some bars won't have parties or restaurants, but there will be some places open. But the best place to enjoy, your house, okay? That's good. That's good. So what was in the sandwich again?
That's a chicken salad sandwich.
Okay. Would this wine go with it?
It will. Hmm.
Okay. Well, that's whatever. Give your number for the pre-orders, right?
Yes.
You prefer that?
I prefer,
Because you're
yes,
going to go
but-
crazy Friday
I mean,
and Saturday.
we work pretty well on the spot, too, but, I mean, it
I've
just...
seen you move.
If we're overwhelmed...
You
know.
and your colleagues, they
Yes,
do a great
we really
job.
do.
I've been there in lines.
We
although
do
I'm
a
mad
good
at you.
job, yes.
I'm mad at you. I won a Powerball ticket there. I mean, I got a Powerball ticket, didn't win one number.
I know it.
So,
Well, it's getting back up there. People are starting to play again.
yeah, can you imagine? What was the one, 900 million?
Mhm.
One person?
Billion, yep.
Billion? No, was it a billion?
Both of them were high, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Even if Uncle Sam takes half, because we know the government needs the money, but even if the government takes half, I could live on 500 million.
I could, too.
I could-
Absolutely.
I could buy Center Market. And I'll mention again, I could buy the city of Wheeling and name it O'Brienville after Frank O'Brien, you know?
Yeah.
Or how about Millerville? Name a city after Lola.
No, that's okay.
You wouldn't want to be mayor, Lola, for me?
Nope.
I'd give you 6 figures.
Nope. The only thing I want to be mayor of is my own island down in the Keys.
But you have your own island.
I don't want that island. That's cold. I want something warm.
Right.
How about Long Island? Nah, I've been there. It's not that nice, you know. Especially when you got to get on a ferry boat or something to go back and forth, isn't that?
That's what I want. I want an island that the only way you can get to it is by boat.
Ah.
Yes.
You know what they're teasing now on TV? Because I'm tired of these State Farm insurance companies. You know, Aaron Rodgers. Who's the other guy? Oh, Patrick Mahomes. There's going to be a third person involved. Well, we got to wait till about halftime to watch it. See how they tease?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No Clydesdales this year? I don't know. It's going to be strange. It's going to be real strange. 22,000 people?
Their money's going to a good place.
It is?
Yep, it is.
It's going into football players' pockets, isn't it?
For the ads? No.
Oh,
that's
no, I
what
thought you
she's
meant the game.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Weren't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, if somebody, I think a 30-second spot on Super Bowl I or a minute spot was about $10,000. I could have bought a couple of spots, you know? Hey, eat at Valley Cheese. There you go.
There you go.
But 2 networks carry it, so I don't know if I would have to be paid double. I don't know. You know me, Janet. I like looking back. Things were so much finer. People loved each other, respected each other, you know. The love's not there anymore. Although Lola says she loves me. You still love me, Lola?
Oh, yeah, Bill.
Yeah, okay. Janet, I'll call in the order like people should do for the weekend. I will come down.
All right.
Unless
What's
it
the phone
snows.
number?
304-232-0882.
You know Corey's number off by heart?
I do not, sorry.
Okay, I don't either. Just look up Center Market, you know, the House of Wine.
Yes.
This is the house of information. Positively entertaining. And the entertaining continues with Big Rick.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Riled up his supporters on lies and aimed them like a cannon at the Capitol building January 6th.
Former President Trump's legal team argues in a written answer to the Senate that the impeachment trial is unconstitutional because Trump is no longer in office. The former president faces a single charge of inciting the insurrection at the Capitol January 6th, but his lawyers say his comments ahead of the Capitol riot are protected by the First Amendment. The lawyers also say there's insufficient evidence that Trump's statements about widespread fraud in the 2020 election were false, despite the claims getting rejected by dozens of courts nationwide. Elizabeth Schulze,